Hello class 8, let's start our geography class, and in today's class we are going to start our 7th chapter, 7th A, and the chapter name is India, its geographical features. So let's start today's class. India is our motherland. It is a country of great physical and cultural diversity. It is a land of lofty mountains and mighty rivers. The plains and plateaus of India cover extensive areas. The highest of the mountains of the world are in this country. Some parts of India are almost at the sea level. So, India is a country where mountains are there, plateaus, plains, and the land is almost covered with means they are almost some parts of India are almost at the sea level, right? And in India there are there are varied climatic conditions, and it is a land, it is a country of great physical as well as cultural diversity, right? So there are plains, there are plateaus, mountains, hills, and low-lying areas, valleys are there, etc. Right? Now next is location and size of India. Okay, let's talk about the location of India. So, location India is almost at the southern part of Asia, or at the head of the Indian Ocean. And Indian Ocean is the only ocean which is named after a country, and that country is India. So, from this, we come to know that India in the past also, in the olden days or in past, India. Was an important country in terms of international trade and commerce, right? Now, next is longitude and latitude. Okay, now look at this picture. From this, we'll find out or we'll figure out the latitudinal and longitudinal extent of India. Now, see this. This is a longitudinal extent. So, this is it extends in terms of longitudinal extent. India extends from 68 degrees 7 minutes east to, this is the easternmost extent, so it is 97 degree 25 minutes east, right? So this is your longitudinal extent. Now when we talk about the latitudinal extent, so that is from this 8 degree 4 minutes north to 36 degrees 6 minutes north. So this is India's latitudinal extent, and this is India's longitudinal extent, right? And this is one important latitude passes here, and this is your Tropic of Cancer, and the degree is 23.5 degree east latitude, that is Tropic of Cancer, which equally almost equally divides India into two halves, right? So this is the latitudinal and longitudinal extent, and important latitude which passes through this country, India. Okay, one important longitude is there. This is India's standard meridian. This longitude is very important. This is 82.5 degree east longitude, which is taken as a standard meridian, right? Standard meridian of India. So this is 80 degree, then 81 degree, 82 degree. So 82.5 degree east longitude is standard meridian, and which passes through, are you seeing this, the confluence of Ganga and Yamuna? So this is the meeting point, confluence of river Ganga and Yamuna, and this longitude passes through this confluence, and this is taken as a standard meridian. So the time This conference is at Prayagraj. So earlier it was known as Allahabad. Now it is known as Prayagraj. So the timing, like if it is 7 o'clock morning at Prayagraj, that means it's a 7 o'clock morning for whole country, right? So that time is taken as a standard time for India, right? For that country. So if at Prayagraj it is 8 p.m., that means 8 p.m. for whole country, right? So this is this latitude, this longitude, 82.5 degree east longitude is what? It's a standard meridian. So standard meridian, IST, Indian Standard Time Zone. It is a time zone in which India observed throughout the country. Okay, now just see this mainland. This is the southernmost tip or last extent of the mainland. So this is here we have Kanyakumari, right? So which is located at 8 degree, right? Now, but will the southernmost extent of India is this one, Indira Point, which is located at Andaman Nicobar Island. So this is located at 6 degree, right? The southernmost tip, the last extent or the southernmost extent of mainland is this, but we have taken this. This is Andaman Nicobar is also part of India, so this is what? This is the last limit or last extent of India. So this is Indira Point, right, which is located at 6 degree here. Now let's figure out the location of India through this model. This is globe, and here it's written 0 degree. So this is 0 degree, it's prime meridian. We know that the this 0 degree here, and that means this is which hemisphere? This is Eastern Hemisphere. And see this is equator, this dashed line, right? So this dashed line is 0 degree. That means this is Northern Hemisphere. So India, see the location of India. So India is entirely located in the northern eastern hemisphere, northeastern hemisphere, we can say, right? Northeastern hemisphere. In terms of Asia, India is towards southernmost or south of Asia, right? Okay, Bay of Bengal is towards east of India, Arabian Sea west of India, and Indian Ocean towards south of India, right? So this is the location of India. Now children, next topic is neighboring countries. I hope I need not to revise this neighboring countries of India, because through map work, in my previous video, I told you about the neighboring countries of India, and so I'm not going to touch the topic. So our neighbors, this you are going to do it yourself, right? Now next is political divisions and relief and physical divisions of India. Okay, children, let's start the topic political division of India. So India is a very big and a vast country. So for administrative efficiency of country like large country like India has to be divided into very small units, and that units are known as states. So India is divided into 28 states and 8 union territories. So there's a mistake in book that it's written 9 union territories. Just make it correct. Now India has got 28 states and 8 union territories. So 8 union territories means that Daman, Diu and Dadar, Nagar Haveli, that has become one. So there are total 8 union territories. Make it correct, right? So India has been divided into 28 states and 8 union territories. We know that Rajasthan is the largest state and Goa is the smallest one, right? And among the union territories, we have Ladakh is the largest union territory and the smallest one is Lakshadweep. Clear? So these are the political divisions of India. Now next topic is relief and physical division. Now children, on the basis of relief features, so relief features means your natural features like valleys, your plateaus, mountains, and plateaus, plains, low-lying areas. These all are your natural features. So on the basis of these natural features, India is divided into number one, the great mountains of north. Number two is the northern plain. Number three is the peninsular plateau, which includes your that Malwa Plateau and Chota Nagpur Plateau. I hope you remember that Malwa and that Deccan Plateau. We have marked that. Now next is the coastal plains. Coastal areas, then Great Indian Desert, Thar Desert, and the last one is the island groups, right? So let's talk about the first physical division of India, that is the Great Himalayan ranges, the mountains of North India. Okay, the Great Mountain Wall of North. These are the four mountains stretch from Kashmir in west to Assam in the east and form an arc. They are about 2,500 kilometer long and 160 to 450 kilometer wide. The Himalayas are young fold mountains because they were formed comparatively recently in the Earth's history as a result of compression. So Himalayas are what? Himalayas are young fold mountains. So these fold mountains, Himalayas, are recently formed in the Earth's history, right? Okay, this great wall is made up of two ranges. So this Himalayas are made up of two ranges. Those two ranges are number one, the Karakoram range, and number two, the Himalayas. And these two we have already marked in our map, right? The Karakoram mountains lie between the Pamir Plateau and the Indus River. Pamir Plateau is here and Indus River is here. So this lies between these two, Indus River and Pamir Plateau. These are very high mountains. K2, which is also known by Godwin Austen, K2. The world's second highest peak belongs to this mountain range. The Baltoro and the Siachen, two important glaciers of this area, are also situated here, Karakoram. Right? We have marked Karakoram range here. Yes? If you remember that map work, we have marked Karakoram range here. So Karakoram lies between Pamir Plateau, Pamir North, and this Indus River. And the second highest mountain peak is there, that is Godwin Austen, K2 is also there. Right, now next is the Himalayas. The Himalayas form the second mountain range. They stretch from the Indus River in the west to the Brahmaputra River in the east. The Himalayas consist of three parallel ranges. So here we have that Himalayan ranges, northern Himalaya, as I told you earlier through that map work also. So these are of there are three parallel ranges. The upper one is your Himadri, the middle one is Himachal, and the last one, foothill, is your Shivalik. So there are three parallel ranges of the Himalayas, right? So let's talk about the Himadri. Himadri. These are the northernmost ranges of Himalayas, right? The average elevation height is how much? More than 6,000 meter above the sea level. Next is they contain some of the world's highest peaks, like Mount Everest, which is the highest peak in the world. That is, and the height is 8,848 meter in which is located in Nepal, and Kanchenjunga. This is located in Sikkim in India, right? The Gangotri and the Yamunotri glaciers, which give birth to which rivers? Ganga and Yamuna rivers, respectively, are located here only. Where? In Himalaya, that is in Himadri. The Himachal average height is how much? It's a 4,000 meter above the sea level, and extend the and its breadth is over the width of 80 kilometer. All the important hill stations such as Dalhousie, Dharamshala, Shimla, Mussoorie, Nainital, Darjeeling belong to this range. So these all hill stations, they are situated at Himachal. The Shivaliks. It is the southernmost range of Himalayas, as I told you earlier also, and the average height is how much? 1,000 meter, right? And this range is made up of unconsolidated materials such as mud, silt, and soft rocks, and is prone to earthquakes and landslides. So these are made up of unconsolidated material, loose material like silts and soft rocks and mud. That is why they are very much prone to earthquakes and landslides. Some narrow valleys are found between Shivalik and Himachal. They are called dunes, Dehradun. So Dehradun, for example, is situated in one such valley. So Dune is where? Dehradun is located at Shivalik. Clear? Foothill of Himalaya, we can say, that is Shivalik. So Dehradun, we are here in foothill of Himalaya, that is Shivalik, right? Okay. So children, I hope you have enjoyed today's class. I know you have come to know about many things about your place, Dehradun, and your country, India. So, with some interesting facts and some more interesting queries and facts, I'll continue this chapter in the next video. Till then, stay safe, stay healthy. Thank you.